Simon & Schuster Audio presents Till We Meet Again, A Canadian in the First World War, by Brandon Marriott, read by Alan Carlson. To the family of Lester Harper, especially his great-granddaughter and her son. Author's Note. We were driving from Bruges, Belgium, to the beach near Saint-Malo, France, and my wife wanted to stop at Vimy Ridge. Like most Canadians, I knew that the battle was significant in our history, and I had a general understanding of the sacrifice and slaughter of the First World War. We posed for a photo at the National Monument atop the hallowed ridge, where the statue of Mother Canada mourns her 11,285 sons, whose names are inscribed on the base of the monument because their graves are unknown. Then we walked the cratered hillside where signs warned visitors about the 300,000 undetonated explosives buried underfoot. As we toured the chalky tunnels and preserved trenches, my wife told our 7-year-old son about his great-great-grandfather, Lester Harper. Not only was he awarded a medal for bravery at Vimy Ridge, she said, but he also wrote hundreds of love letters to his wife from these very trenches. Letters? I asked. As a historian, I felt a flutter of excitement at the mention of a century-old collection of wartime correspondence. Little did I know that I would spend the next few years delving into the lives of Canadian infantrymen on the Western Front, learning the abbreviations in their military records, trying to decipher the handwritten notations in their war diaries, and traveling to collect photos and memorabilia from their surviving relatives. As I would come to learn, Lester was not actually awarded his medal for his actions at Vimy Ridge, and his missives were certainly not all love letters. This book is the result of my research. It is the story of Lester Harper, a Canadian pioneer who fought in the Great War. Lester was a storyteller. In his correspondence, he recounted incidents and outings and sometimes even quoted his friends. His wife Mabel and their daughter Barbara both wrote in a similar fashion. Their notes, letters, and self-published works recall Christmas dinner at home in Saskatoon Creek, a sleigh crash on the Edson Trail, and the rare discussion of the war with Lester. I've written this history in a storytelling style too, using these sources to track Lester's journey across Canada, the UK, and France. Unfortunately, some moments of his life have been lost to history. Sometimes we know what happened, but not exactly how it happened. In those instances, I have crafted heavily researched narratives from the surviving material to fill the gaps in our knowledge. The same holds true for the dialogue. Much of it is derived from the letters, using the original words and phrases. Other remarks and speeches, such as those made by politicians and military commanders, are quoted verbatim or paraphrased from historical documents. The rest I have written in the spirit of the time, employing the language of Canadians in the trenches to realistically depict life on the Western Front. If some of the expressions and sentiments in this book seem outdated, that is because they are. But they were part of the world that Lester inhabited, so I have included them. For a more thorough discussion, please refer to the afterword. Chapter 1. Cheer up, for the worst is yet to come. Purple Line, near Bretoncourt, France, May 3rd, 1918. Sergeant Harper snuck into no man's land under a starry sky. He could scarcely see the stakes holding up the twisted rolls of barbed wire, but he could feel the soul-chilling coldness of the battlefield. A flare shot up, and Lester pressed himself into the mud. Its light glittered in the rain-filled craters and illuminated the bodies of soldiers caught in the rusted wire. They hung, limp and ragged, maggoty scarecrows guarding a wasteland of used armaments, abandoned guns, and heaps of human scraps. Rigid white bones gaped through bloody tunics, while sun-blackened faces stared back at him, eyes and tongues eaten by corpse rats. After
Sample complete. Ready to continue?